Hello, it's Friday. Ooh. Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, here's your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. This hour, the United Auto Workers are expected to announce whether they will expand their selective strike against the 3 U.S. automakers.
Of course they will.
The UAW has demanded significant progress in contract talks with Ford, GM, and Stellantis.
Oh,
From member station
we'll see.
WFPL, Jacob Munoz reports union workers in Louisville, Kentucky are waiting to see if they'll join others on the picket line today.
So far, workers at 3 plants are on strike. UAW Local 862 in Louisville represents more than 12,000 Ford employees at 2 assembly plants. One of those workers is LaTanya Covington, who attended a Thursday union rally in the city.
We're showing support across the board, not just for the UAW, but the working class. We want the working class to finally get what they deserve.
One Louisville location could be a tempting target for the union to strike at. This past spring, Ford CEO Jim Farley described the city's Kentucky truck plant as the company's most profitable plant globally. For NPR News, I'm Jacob Munoz in Louisville.
Members of the House of Representatives have gone home for the weekend, even though they've tried and failed to pass key spending legislation. House Republicans cannot agree among themselves on a spending bill.
Man.
That disagreement means the federal government is getting very close to a partial shutdown on October 1st. Senators like North Dakota Republican Kevin Cramer are urging their House colleagues to hammer out a compromise.
I think it's really important that they get something they can send over to us, regardless of what it might look like.
Delaware Democratic Senator Chris Coons had this suggestion.
Looks like
We may
lightning.
need to send
Bolts
them a
of fire.
proposal because they're not able to get anything together.
House Republicans are divided over whether to
Chaos.
provide aid for public disasters and over aid for Ukraine. Federal prosecutors in New York say they plan to announce an
But
indictment
they're upset over that
against
Biden
New
wanting to
Jersey
put-
Democratic
or
Senator
giving more to
Robert
Ukraine.
Menendez on bribery charges. The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New
Guys,
York announced on
Lost
social
his
media
freaking mind, man.
Menendez's wife, Nadine, will also be charged. Stocks
Already
opened next
admitted
this
that
morning
his
as
Bidenomics
Microsoft gave
failed
a green light
by
for its
hiking interest
modified
rates,
acquisition
decided
of
to
a
give
video
more
game maker.
to Ukraine, which
NPR's
in
Scott
turn
Horsley reports
hikes
the Dow
interest
Jones
rates
Industrial
again.
Average fell about 50 points in early trading.
Shares of game maker
then
Activision
he'll
Blizzard
tweet out,
rose on
"Oh,
news that UK
Bidenomics,
regulators
woo!"
are likely to approve Microsoft's purchase of the company. Authorities had earlier raised concerns that the deal would stifle competition in cloud-based gaming. Regulators now say those worries were substantially addressed by the company's agreement to sell cloud-based rights to a rival. European regulators have slapped Intel with another fine for alleged anti-competitive activity in the computer chip market. The $400 million penalty comes after a larger fine issued more than a decade ago was thrown out by a court. And Amazon plans to start showing commercials on its Prime Video streaming service next year.
When don't they?
Customers can
Come on.
skip the ads by
Amazon.
paying an extra $2.99 a month. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
You're listening to NPR News. The National Hurricane Center says a potential tropical storm is about 250 miles off the coast of the Carolinas. Top sustained winds are at 50 miles per hour. The storm could make landfall later today. Forecasters have issued tropical storm warnings from North Carolina to southern Delaware. The school building in Parkland, Florida, where a former student killed 17 people in 2018, will be demolished next summer. From member station WLRN, Gerard Albert reports local school officials made the announcement yesterday.
The long-awaited demolition of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School building will happen immediately after the current school year ends. The building has remained largely untouched for more than 5.5 years, so it could be used as evidence during the shooter's trial. The interior was left as it was in the aftermath of the shooting,
Wow.
with jurors touring its hallways during the sentencing phase. And last month, members of Congress did the same. In between, loved ones were finally allowed to enter and retrieve belongings of those killed. The Broward County School Board has not yet signaled what will become of the property. For NPR News, I'm Gerard Albert III in Fort Lauderdale.
There's an active volcano near the capital of the Philippines, Manila. It's continuing to belch volcanic gases. Authorities say it's creating so much volcanic smog, they're telling schools in the capital and in neighboring towns to close. There are reports that students have gotten sick. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
There's a new way to support this show
Amazon.
and
Skip.
in NASA News. Now the record holder for the longest single spaceflight by an American, NASA astronaut Frank Rubio is scheduled to depart the International Space Station and return to Earth Wednesday, September 27. The agency will provide full coverage from hatch closing through landing. The first asteroid sample collected in space by NASA will arrive on Earth Sunday, September 24th, and there are multiple events leading up to its landing.
No hatch opening. I'm not gonna do that.
NASA astronaut Laura O'Hara and 2 cosmonauts safely arrived at the International Space Station Friday, September 15th, bringing its number of residents to 10 for the coming week. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, NASA is releasing new content for Universo Curioso de la NASA, the agency's first Spanish-language podcast. A 5-episode season will start Tuesday, September 19th, with new episodes released weekly. NASA will host a media teleconference at 1 p.m. EDT on Wednesday, September 20th, to discuss the agency's first test of high-bandwidth optical communications beyond the Moon. The Deep Space Optical Communications DSOC technology demonstration is launching aboard the Psyche spacecraft Thursday, October 5th. In weather. Currently, in Seattle it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds, with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 55 degrees.
Cool.
From
Alright,
NASA.
Amazon.
No.
Off. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
What happens if you cover a tennis racket in ice cream? You get soft serve.
I don't know about that, man. Ooh. Cover your tennis racket in ice cream? Man. I don't think you would get any serve. Maybe a sticky serve. Soft serve, okay, well, whatever. Alright, everybody, have fun. Don't try ice cream on your tennis racket. I don't know what she's thinking. Have a great weekend.